One of Seoul's trendiest neighborhoods in 2024 is HBC, short for Haebangchon. And if you don't believe me, ask ChatGPT or watch the video and you will also want to pay a visit. Haebangchon is located northwest of Itaewon, and even though we call it Haebangchon, it's technically the neighborhood of Yongsan-iga, which also includes Namsan Tower, but we will get to that later. This town has quite recently transformed from a migrant shanty town to a thriving multicultural district. But how much do we and all of these people know of its history? Let me first take you back to the Japanese colonial period.
So guys, check this out. I'm now walking on the Baekpal Gedan, the 108 steps that are partly in Haeundae behind me and partly in Haebangchon, here on top of the hill. I already showed you this in the Haeundae video, but for those who don't know anything about it, these steps were made by the Japanese colonial government, so people could pray at the Gyeongsong Hoguk Shrine, a Shinto shrine for the dead soldiers. Now after liberation, the shrine disappeared, but the steps still remain. So these are the original steps, and they now serve as a connection point between Haeundae and Haebangchon. It's great. They used to be without the escalator, so now also for the less mobile people, it's easy to go up and down. A nice piece of history.
These steps serve as an iconic landmark and a grand entrance to HBC. They are picturesque but carry the weight of a sad colonial history. Few who walk these steps today remember that past, and those who do probably take the escalator by now. The shrine that once stood here was built in 1943 and quickly demolished after liberation in 1945, making way for the first communities that shaped the Haebangchon we know today. I wonder if we can still find traces of the shrine.
I'm here with Malgo.
I'm Malgo and I'm a resident of Haebangchon, and welcome to Town.
And he's a YouTuber like me. Check out his YouTube channel, but the shrine is now gone. But you know where the shrine used to be.
Yeah, so this is the beginning of the place.
Shrine.
Yeah.
Oh, it used to be here.
Yeah, it used to be here.
It's here, right behind us.
This is now the site of Sunshield School, which boldly refused to comply with mandatory visits to the Japanese Shinto shrine during the colonial period. As a result, the school was forcibly shut down, but after liberation it reopened, right on the very spot where the shrine once stood. How is that for a badass comeback?
So now you look at the building is so big, you guess how the shrine was so big. On the top there's a noob cafe, fancy cafe, there's a billiard board.
And a good view.
Yeah, rooftop too.
Rooftop too.
One of the best rooftop view cafe in Haebangchon.
Haebangchon, meaning Liberation Village, was formed as a refugee town after Korea's liberation in 1945. It became a haven for North Koreans fleeing political oppression, religious persecution, particularly for being Christian, and many other reasons. Haebangchon was one of the first so-called moon villages, or daldongne, which is another word for a shanty town. However, unlike other moon villages, this one wasn't created by domestic migrants from the southern part of the peninsula, but by those escaping from the north.
But it's a lot of climbing.
Yeah, climbing. Yeah, that's why the 02번 마을버스 is a mandatory.
So what I understood is that there is only one bus going up.
Yeah, O2 bus.
But other than that, there's no other transport, public transport going up.
Town bus O2 winds through Haebangchon's steep streets, a modern link to its days as a moon village, when residents had to rely on long walks to navigate the hills.
This is a Shanty Market. Is a kind of like a hip spot right now, but in the past it's a kind of really so traditional market. Like, you know, you could buy the fish, you could buy the rice. Our 할머니, 할아버지 running the place, but now it turns out to be some kind of like trendy market.
And lots of young, hip people, they flock in the evening.
Yeah.
And in the weekend especially.
This is one of the hottest spots of the Haebangchon right now.
Yes, but I must say, I love the transformation. It's great.
Yeah.
They turn it into a really nice place.
Yeah, really good, model of the transformation.
Exactly. But look at this, look at the ceiling. It's so cool. This wasn't here before.
Yeah, it wasn't here before. So it was in the rainy days, so there's no person, but after this, it's no problem.
One of the cafes that beautifully preserved the old market's charm is Upstanding Coffee. And yes, I was truly impressed.
네, 안녕하세요. 네, 해방촌 매력이 뭔가요?
해방촌 매력이요?
네.
해방촌 매력은 일단 이 개성 있는 이런 상점들이 한 곳에 이렇게 모여 있고, 그리고 이 해방촌 안에서 이 뭐라고 해야 될까? 그 가게마다 소통도 많고,
네.
그다음에 약간 다 친구처럼 지내고 그런 부분 너무 좋아요.
이 카페 어떤 카페인가요?
멋있는 카페.
멋있는
It's a really
카페.
cool cafe, and the structure is
check
very
this out.
unique.
This is so cool.
Yeah. He is inspired. The owner is inspired by the stone town in the New York.
This is so cool.
Yeah, this is so cool. was a very narrow places, but renovated very well. You see like a church. The artwork is also by some artists that live in Haebangchon. People are very close to each other, like a friend.
All friends.
Yes. Also, there's a flower shop.
So they buy the plants from that shop?
Yeah, also they are very friendly each other.
I see.
So
Wow,
you can see the whole view of the site.
So
That's
back
very
in the days, these used to be like shops.
Yeah, shops and
little
just
factories,
factories and residents.
like textile.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
That they didn't tear it down and build something new.
Yeah.
Instead, they renovated it and they
They-
refashioned it.
yeah.
And only young people,
Yeah, only young people.
hip young people.
Haebangchon transformed into a bustling textile hub, producing goods for the US military, Namsan Market and Itaewon. At its peak in the 1960s, around 300 factories operated here, but competition from China in the 80s and 90s led to a decline. By the 2000s, many had left and shops closed. That's why it's impressive to see Shanty Market revived, becoming one of Seoul's trendiest spots. I honestly like the look of it, very demure, very mindful.
Now we are going to the another store. It's a plant shop.
So the plants that you saw earlier in the cafe,
Yeah.
they came from that shop. So it shows that everyone is basically supporting each other. Like the bunigi here, the charm, it's so cool.
Yes, it's it's a neighborhood. you
Yeah,
know?
neighborhood. So before it was only young people, and then you walk out of the market, go up the stairs, and suddenly you're in a really old traditional street. Fruit stalls and old butter.
This is a
Oh,
shop.
here it is.
Yeah, green graffiti.
Oh, they have lots of plants.
Yeah, that's a plant. It's like a garden, you know.
매년
네.
뭐 지금 느끼시는 것처럼
네.
너무 자유롭고 그리고 되게 오래된 느낌이 너무 좋고 그리고 이렇게 언덕에 있잖아요. 힘들게 오신 손님들이 좋아.
가게 너무 멋져요.
감사합니다.
So Haebangchon used to be a moon village, like Daldongne. Therefore, there's not much parking space.
Yeah, like a puzzle. Yeah, every day struggling.
The typical view with Namsan.
No way.
Today is Haebangchon time. Yeah. How's it going?
Yes,
There's one spot here in Haebangchon where there's always elderly sitting. Right here.
Yeah, right here. I know that it's like a gang.
Yeah, the elderly gang.
HBC gang. I'm going to show you a landmark of the Haebangchon, Ogori. This is how we park in Haebangchon.
This is how you park in Haebangchon.
Yeah.
Let me
like
show it.
this.
Everyone knows Ogori.
There's an invisible hand to control all over this, you know.
So even though there's no traffic light, there's no, how to say that, zebra crossing, nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Now let's move to Namsan Tower, overlooking Haebangchon, Seoul's iconic skyline symbol. Originally built in 1969, was more than just a transmission tower for broadcasting in Seoul. It blocked North Korean broadcasts across the city. Now, it's a must visit, offering stunning views and glowing lights that change with the air quality and special events. Plus, did you know it's built on the site of a Joseon-era beacon fire station? These beacons were part of an ancient communication system, used to send urgent military signals across the country. Namsan connects the past and present all in one incredible spot.
After you've seen Namsan Tower, you can go down a trail, which is only 30 minutes, all the way until Haebangchon. Quite a nice walk. And keep in mind that Namsan Tower is extremely touristic. But the views are fantastic, so it's totally worth it to go up. But you don't have to go into the tower, in my opinion. I've never done it before.
No matter where you are in Haebangchon, your eyes are drawn to the church. My friend Joe from Sun Kimchi shared this crazy story with me.
You might know this church from, if you're over the overlook down over, that's the famous shot of seeing the Seoul Tower. You see that in Itaewon Class and all these other famous shots. You know, on the left, you see this village with this church on top. This is the church. This church was founded right by North Korean refugees. I think the original pastor of this church, something happened to him. He never came back. So
what?
I think he was kidnapped and by the North and didn't come back.
This church started as just a tent, and when the Korean War broke out, the pastor refused to abandon it. He was kidnapped by North Koreans and never seen again. Haebangchon's charm lies in its contrasts. Amidst the young, hip crowd, you will find vintage shops like this one. It's housed in an old factory, and right next door, a factory is still running in the basement. Then there is this older bakery, not too hip or fancy or anything, but apparently so good that it's still going strong, according to Malgo. Now, there's one street we gotta mention.
Welcome to Death Valley of Haebangchon. It's so steep, car is so fast.
Right.
they don't care about you. So
And there's almost no space to walk.
yeah, so you could dead.
What I felt is that everyone is welcome. I also feel that has always been the case. Since the early days, Haebangchon, already refugees, welcome.
Yeah, everything's welcome.
welcome,
So,
welcome.
Welcome Records.
Let's check it out.
And I like this store because I personally enjoy the LP. And one of the things different from the other record store is that they support local musicians. So here's a lot of local Korean musician LPs like
That is so cool. I would love to explore this music.
Haebangchon has a unique vibe where everyone and everything feels welcome. It's different from the typical Seoul neighborhoods. People seem to express their passions, whatever they may be, seamlessly blending with Haebangchon's rich history. Sure, the neighborhood has changed a lot, maybe too much for some, but I am beginning to realize that's inevitable in a city like Seoul. It would be best to be prepared for change.
Hi! 안녕하세요.
This is my Reggie and Miso. They are 부부.
확실히 뭐라고 할까 한국은 안 같아요. 한국에서도 되게 외국 같은 동네인 것 같아요.
Yeah, I think it's very, very open. Everyone, I mean, there are a multitude of different races. There's Canadian, US, Korean, Nigerian, Russians, Ukrainians together without fighting. LGBT, yeah, minorities are here.
So guys, now we go to maybe the most famous landmark
Yeah, landmark.
in Haebangchon.
Signature.
Signature landmark.
Yeah.
Even people who don't know Haebangchon, they probably have seen this.
Yeah, it's like a 만남의 장소.
Right.
Yeah, we could meet there.
Hanshin has been a fixture in Haebangchon for over 50 years. The shop stands out in this trendy, ever-changing neighborhood, offering a window into Korea's deep-rooted traditions. Despite all the new things around it, Hanshin continues to thrive, proving that some things are timeless. It's probably the most famous landmark in the neighborhood. Another landmark is Chris, who had spent so much time in Haebangchon and this particular CU that several street view cars have captured him in photos over several years.
As a landmark and as an icon, how would you describe Haebangchon?
My kingdom! Oh, I think there was another guy who's been here a while called, he was the king of Haebangchon, I was the mayor. We had to get the hierarchy right. I found it funny, to be honest, and interesting that they would choose that word and apply it to it. It's not like I'd done anything spectacular, except stayed alive, I suppose.
The transformation of Haebangchon is impressive, to say the least. Even if the area is hardly identifiable anymore as a moon village, few traces remain, and they can definitely be seen in the hilliness, the local town bus, and the winding roads. Some parts are trending hard, while others keep their traditional feel. The view is fantastic, and history is all around. Let's not forget the endless number of good restaurants. If you come to the area, check all the landmarks. The 108 stairs, Shanty Market, the 5-way intersection, Namsan Tower, Death Valley, but be careful, and Hanshin Pottery, to buy a souvenir. Then now, Haebangchon goes on the Dong map as the most successful moon village of Seoul. The place that went from shanty to hipster is still changing, but do we know what it will become next? No, we don't. Welcome to my dong.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for watching.
Thank you for
See
watching.
you in the next video.
Woo.
Haeundae.
I'm so excited to see you. Like I was sitting there and then I thought like, it's here. I go down and then
That is me.
yeah. Nice to meet
Oh, nice to meet you too.
I want to say like thank you so much for introducing the Korea store as well.
Thank you so much.